To the island we go, Nanaimo, British Columbia. First MX2 Moto whole shot goes to the number 39 of Jess Pettis. But it was Benoit that was out front. Dakota's with an issue. Skylab! Benoit takes the first moto. Moffenmeyer whole shot the second one, but it was all about the two-stroke KTM of Benoit. Top of the box, clean sweep, red plate. Welcome, race fans, to the 2015 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. This is the Wild Rose MX Park in downtown Calgary. Mark Travers and Brian Coster in the booth. And our MX2 racing today will be presented by Motovan.com, Canada's source for power sports, parts, and accessories. MX2 pilots in staging right now. Brian, qualifying happened this morning. Jimmy Dakota's had the fastest qualifying time. Jerry Medaglia second, Kevin Benoit third.
Yeah, man, these guys have been hot all year, and it seems like it's come down to those three stars. Sean Moffenmeyer showed well at this track last year. He's got a lot to prove, as well as Dylan right there with team manager Kevin Tyler.
Okay, Fabs, let's get caught up in the points in the MX2 class after 2 of 10. There's your first 5. Benoit, Medaglia, Dakotas, Noddet, and Savage. Good group right there.
And Moffenmeyer's fallen back to 6th. Morgan Berger showing really well this year. Martinez, he's out this weekend with a sore shoulder. Then Pettis and Rarick round out the top 10.
MX2 pilots out picking their gates. The 6th fastest this week is the 39 of Jess Pettis. He's been super fast so far in the MX2 class this season.
Blake Savage here. His dad's in town, Devil's Lake rider. We're waiting for big things from him. We know he's a speedster.
And we'll be riding our helmet cam for us today. There's the number 9 Morgan Berger. We talked about him dropping down, starting to get that top 5 mix. I'm really liking that. Local boy, the 819 Todd Sewell, 11th fastest. So nice to see some local talent up here. And of course, I know you like the Bandito.
Yeah, not it there to the left of the screen, patting his spot. He was 8th fastest, Trav, but check out this track. This is coming out of the international section, Great Loam at the very eastern portion. This is the very western portion, the Shaw Valley, pros only out here. Elevation change, Travs, big fun for the riders and spectators.
And Blue Groove, Fabs. Let's talk about the fact that there are some hard packed sections on here. It does run up when they get the water into it, so this is gonna be a fantastic track. And concrete start, always an issue for the riders. MX2 first moto right after this. Welcome back to the Wild Rose MX Park in Calgary for round 3 of the 2015 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. The lovely Jen leading the charge out onto the start straight with Sir Paul Kingsley as we get ready for the first MX2 moto of the day. This one will be brought to you by Pro Circuit, Performance Mods and Products, the champion's choice. Fabulous. You know what? Jen's really taking control of this situation, and I am liking it.
I as well, Travs, I as well, looking quite dignified out there. Kinger, he's got the best view in the house as always.
Is that leather, Fabs? Yes, it is, as she goes to 5. Back to the riders, concrete start, Brian. Remember, tires up the temperature. It's a slick, short left-hander. The gate is down, Brian, coming to that first corner. Who's gonna get that roll distributing? Oh, ha, 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 ha.
Oh boy, tight corners there, but as Jimmy the Coitus gets right behind Noddet, who's a whole shot specialist. Look at Medaglia in 3rd, and we're on board with Blake Savage, Devil's Lake MX. Great start for Savage.
Savage, that Motovan back rider, got a dynamite start wearing the drift helmet cam as the riders go underneath this gorgeous tunnel almost into downtown, and then they fly around the corner into the international section. Nadito in 3rd place.
Jeremy just made a real heads-up slick move up the inside as they go through the Marin International Center, a little dogleg, and into this big Honda right-hander. Decent dirt, you can see all the grooves here up to this 110-foot table top, and that is a big jump. I saw yellow fender. Little bump.
That is the 60th anniversary Yamaha YZ250F of Sean Moffenmeyer getting into the mix. But great imagery from the drift helmet cam right now, Brian, as we see Savage right in the mix. He goes inside on Nadito.
Great pass by Savage. Moffenmeyer aggressive, relegates Noddet again, yes. So we've got Moffenmeyer finally, a great start. Let's see if we can keep it up right here.
Benoit on the number 1 two-stroke KTM in 5th place. Nice little clusters. They come through the FXR left-hander into this Cowie right-hander, takes him to the Dragon's back. Look at Moffenmeyer on the inside. Yes, he is in 3rd place.
Man, he looks great right now. He is really pushing the envelope, over jumping. It looks like he really wants a piece of Medaglia, and you can see the roost flying. These guys are getting helmeled out here.
Fabs, these drift action cam images, especially when you get a great start, a rider in the top 5, are so impressive because the guys are on the pipe. They all want to get out into the lead quick.
Oh yeah, and like we've talked about, towards the end of the race. Lap times very similar to the first lap. So these guys pushed to the end. Here's a replay of that whole shot. 105 Dakotas, Canada Motorcycles, Yamaha got right up on Noddet to get a huge hole shot.
But there was a crash in the first corner, Brian. Two riders going off into that inside section. It looks like it was the 17 of Rarick and the 819 of Sewell, so that's a bit of a sandwich for those boys.
Those guys are what you call lying down on the job right there, and a real struggle trying to get back up, and what a way to start the race way back.
Pair of two strokes to our leader, the 105, Jimmy DeCoitis, FXR. Oh my, gorgeous off camber. Track change from last year, Brian. There's Medallia, Moffenbauer, Savage, Benoit. Woohoo!
Berger, strict riding here, a great start. There's Dylan Wright just outside the top 10. Swanson's right in there. There goes Pronovo. Pronovo, we've been waiting for something from him. He had a couple great rides last year, struggling this year.
A lot of cool options on that off camber, so really liking that change. Back to the international section. This is the battle for second place. Medallia on the outside through this rutted Honda corner. It's trouble, Brian. Moffenbauer on the inside. Oh, and Medallia gets fully Munson on the outside of that line.
Holy smokes, that was sketchy. Moffenbauer using all the track, making a bossy pass. Jeremy lucky to be upright still.
Let's face it, those two guys have been getting connected in almost every single moto, and there is usually contact.
It's funny how the rivalries develop and change from year to year, but they are out there. Nice shot at Benoit, great leg working. Oh, Berger, all these guys looking really good on that kind of uphill, off on camber there. Lots of interesting parts of this track. Now, out on the outside there, Jeremy just dabs, loses a bit of his mojo. Moffenbauer takes the inside and just cuts right over. A pretty aggressive move. And right there, Jeremy almost loses it, cuts right across the track. Almost curtains for Savage. Just misses Jer, and then goes Benoit. So 3 positions lost for the 21.
I think Jeremy better check the 2 unders fast, because there may be a package in there to our leader, the 105. That's Jimmy DeCoitis. Second place is Moffenbauer. Here comes Savage. Oh, the 2-stroke KTM of Benoit is on the pipe.
Benoit on a tear right now. He definitely wants to get to the front of this pack. Leading the points right now. There's Jess Pettis. Right behind him is Swanson. These guys having a really good battle just outside the top 10. But right now, Savage into the FXR corner, has that 3rd place position, but Benoit wants it bad.
Savage has been spectacular all season long, Brian, but he's had a couple of instances of bad luck. He's been fast and he's showing speed right now. Did you see Benoit come out of that camelback? Oh my goodness, in another time zone.
He's one of the only guys regularly tripling that section on the 2-stroke. So whether it's the 2-stroke power band that's a bit different or just his aggression, he is one of the only MX2 riders doing that every lap.
The one thing I think about this track, Brian, is it enables a 2-stroke to carry a lot of speed because it's so big. Oh, a little incident on the inside for Savage. Benoit doubles over into the KTM corner and takes 3rd place.
That was a gift right there for Benoit on that Fox. KTM, Savage, the Devil's Lake rider. Okay, here it is. Savage up the inside. He just loses his wheel traction right there and just has a bit of a slide. Feet come off the pegs.
Gorge.
Yeah, he goes off a little enduro, and Moffenbauer goes down hard.
I did
so
not
a
see
double gift for Benoit. Oh, Moffenbauer, after that aggressive pass, I tell you, when the 21 comes by, I think he's going to give a little extra roost to Moffenbauer.
To our leader, the 105, Jimmy DeCoitis, FXR Yamaha. You see the downtown Calgary through the tunnel. Gorgeous shot to this little hipper. It's not a little hipper, Brian. It's a gigantic hipper. Benoit in second, and there is the 762 of Savage to Medallia. I don't see Moffenbauer anywhere.
Moffenbauer's probably picking the roost out of his goggles right now. Not under pressure from the 20th. Right there's Moffenbauer. So Moffenbauer back up. He lost a bunch of ground, and he's right in behind these two.
Right slips by Nada into 5th place as they come through the off-camera back to our leader, DeCoitis. He looks fantastic coming out of the Dragon back, Brian. Remember, small rider, giant heart, Babs. Love seeing him in the lead.
Little rip-by. He is out there. Benoit not jumping right now, so maybe just cruising a little more. He's been jumping that thing every lap. So with gray skies moving in, the battle for 5th, Travis, is intensifying. Out of the 110 jump, look at the aggressiveness of the 14. That is that 60th anniversary Yamaha. That thing looks trick.
And this is another part of the track that they modified, Brian, the jump into the Shaw Valley. Moffenbauer used the outside to his advantage to move into 6th, right in 5th to our leader, the 105, Jimmy DeCoitis. Oh my goodness, does he ever look good. Back on board with Savage, Brian. There's something going on as Moffenbauer slides by him. This is down in the Shaw Valley. He is definitely not on the pipe.
Yeah, and then Nada goes by. He didn't jump. He looks like he's slowing. Oh, he's looking around. Yeah, I think he's done. You can see all the small stones on the track here. The riders barely even see those at race speed, unless, of course, the roost picks one up and you get it in the face.
With Savage falling out, Brian, this right now is the battle for third place. The 21, Jeremy Medaglia, and a young prodigy of his, the 20 of Dylan Wright. Different teams right now, but this could be a dogfight for the podium.
With third on the line, look at the speed of Dylan Wright. Holy, what a calculated move right there, and he just wicks up the throttle and just catches Jeremy off guard there. I don't think Jeremy saw that one coming.
He stole the line, Brian, and let's face it, I'm sure Medaglia thought he was going to take the hipper, and then Wright comes right in on the inside and takes his line. That was an amazing pass. Here it is again.
So over the jump, Wright is on the left, and Jeremy thinks he's over there, so he cuts way to the left to hack him off. Crisscross, bam, use you as traction. Holy smokes, the gear up. That is split-second anticipation and a very decisive move for the 17-year-old Wright.
That was extremely bold. That's what I'm going to say for the number 20. But we've been talking about his capabilities on the motorcycle, Brian. They're endless.
Yeah.
And we saw that from the young rider right there. Both of those riders, 3-4, getting their last lap flags. Back to the number 14 of Sean Moffenbauer in 5th place, also getting his last lap flag. So waning stages of this moto.
Moffenbauer always up in that front group. He's had a real problem with laying the bike down. No real big major crashes, but just enough to make him have to charge from the back. The guy's always playing catch up. Imagine if Moffenbauer could get a whole shot.
To our leader, the 105, Jimmy Dakotas, who's on his final approach, Brian, got the whole shots, led wire to wire. Basically looks spectacular as Moto, takes the checker flag and wins the first MX2 Moto here from the Wild Rose MX Park in Calgary.
I'd have to say he won that in style.
Let's get to our Yamaha leaderboard and see our top 10. Some great battles in that top 5, but let's go down to 7th, Morgan Berger. Dustin Crescent in 8th, that's 444. Petruska, great to see him in 9th. And Kyle Swanson in 10th place.
The number 105 of Jimmy Dakotas. Fastest lap time in qualifying. You came out here and pretty much waxed the field. You're barely sweating. Looked like you're having a ball out there.
Yeah, I really was out there. I mean, I finally got a whole shot this year, and I put down the sprint laps that I know I can put down, and I got a good gap and just kind of maintained it, you know. I think I could have picked it up a little bit, but Kevin was riding really good, and we were pacing each other the whole moto, and it just seemed like a pretty long moto the way we were pacing each other back and forth. But I'm just happy that my fitness is coming around and everything, and just trying to close this points gap one race at a time.
The number 20 of Dylan Wright in the first moto here in Calgary. What a ride. You battled with your longtime idol, Jeremy Medaglia. How does it feel to beat him straight up, fair and square here in Calgary?
Oh, man, I mean, it feels awesome. I mean, we've grown up probably 40 minutes from each other, and I was looking up to him and his brother Tyler when I was on mini bikes, and it was just awesome. I kind of just dove to the inside and caught him, and then we were kind of pushing the last few laps, going for the podium. I'm just happy I got by him and can get up here.
Hey, you need a reason to come to the track. How about Dylan Wright, 3rd place, first MX2 Moto, or maybe a bucket full of swag? It's all happening here in Calgary, 2nd MX2 Moto, right around the corner. Welcome back to Calgary, Alberta, and round 3 of the 2015 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. The lovely Rockstar Jen sauntering on to the start straight. This 2nd MX2 Moto will be brought to you by Max Convenience Stores, a great place to get jug milk, ice cold Rockstar, and a whole bunch of goodies. Brian Coster and Mark Travers in the booth. Let's get this thing going, Fabs.
Well, with crazy Calgary weather, looks like that storm is kind of blown over. We have some sun, but the wind is up. We've had rain, hail, all kinds of nonsense here in Calgary. The month of June, they say, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it'll change.
MX2 pilots on the line. It's the second and last concrete start of the season, Brian. See some of our top pilots with an inside gate because they want the straight shoot into the left-hander as Jen goes to 5.
Yeah, we've got Medaglia right there, 1 in, and then it's the number 1 of Benoit, so a couple of big players just in from the inside. The gate is down, Trav.
Benoit gets a dynamite jump, Brian, as they come into this really tight left-hander. It's wide but short. The 105 of Jimmy Dakotas. Yes, he does. Royal Distributing Triple Crown with the 2nd MX2 whole chat.
That's $200 from the first moto, $200 in the second. Royal Distributing doubles it for the Triple Crown, so $800 right there for Dakotas. Oh, look at this, right on the inside, quickly. Benoit, heads up move. Wow.
What a brash pass going underneath the bridge, Brian. Woo. Taking that inside line, pushing Dakotas wide. Moffenbauer in 3rd place. But this is the battle we've really been waiting to see all season long in this class.
Did you see Benoit whip it out of the International international section. He almost overcorrected, and he's just bouncing this way and that off all those hard ruts. It ain't stopping him at all, not slowing him a bit as he carries around the outside of that big hipper. I like that outside line. Saves a bit of energy than that big hipper, but Dakotas, he's on fire.
Talk to me about riding styles too, because the two-stroke's a little bit lighter and a little squirrelier, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, and look at Dakota stand up right in the middle of that berm, maximizing his traction. These riders are working the bike front and rear, getting way up front in the turns, waiting outside peg. They actually steer a lot with the legs to keep that bike straight, and when they hit kickers off jumps. Now, with the two-stroke, you want to keep that momentum, you want to carry your speed. It's lighter in the turns, so it actually has some advantages and some disadvantages. Benoit really putting the advantages together.
Nada got a great start. Here's Medallia and the number 90 of Jared Stock, an ISDE rider for Canada, also riding a two-stroke. Here's that Triple Crown again, Fabs.
Guys come in so fast, they sweep way wide. These guys know how to get checked up on the brakes. Moffenbayer's a great seat, but Dakotas just grabs the gear and pulls out the shot, but really impressed with Benoit. Here's the gap in real time. Look at how much he's checked out on Dakotas through the mechanics area. Jimmy D, great style. Love this rich, dark soil. And then, like you say, where it's shiny, real blue groove.
Well, and this track today seems a lot slipperier in places than I've ever seen. Look at Medallia now moving up on Nada. Love that giant hip jump on the inside, giving the riders options, setting up for underneath that tunnel.
The 620 of Nada on the GA Checkpoint Yamaha always seems to get a great start through the international section. Oh, Jeremy lands with that back wheel and just, you can see the bike just accelerate as soon as he landed. So this is a great cat and mouse battle. Side-by-side racing, lots of options on this track. You can see them really leaning forward, get their weight back. Both go for tear-offs in midair. The hipper, and Moffenbayer is down again.
Moffenbayer is down again, was in third place. It looks like he slid out in that drift corner. We'll have to go back and see if we can see what happened to him. Now, that puts Medallia up into third place, Nada into fourth. But as we were saying before, Brian, this track is slippery. So Moffenbayer going down, no big surprise. Coming out of that little camelback, oh my goodness, blue groove.
Nice shot of that cambered turn. Deep groove right in the middle. That's like axle deep. And then you have three other lines. Savage makes a great move on Stock. Stock, yeah, ex-motocrosser, switched to the ISDE, showing pretty well right now.
Here's that pass again. Medallion almost made the pass coming over the 100-footer as they come into this drift corner. But there's Moffenbayer down just as he was coming into that outside line, trying to carry speed, front end washed out.
I hate to say it, that is a fast part of the track, so Moffenbayer tucking the front end, that's what it looks like, that's what's probable. That still hurts. He hits the ground hard, and it's like cement over there.
To the Rockstar lockoff cam, the number 9 Mountain Edge Yamaha of Morgan Berger is showing fabulous. He belongs.
Big time on the number 9, but Blake Savage has got something to say about on the Devil's Light. Like Jeremy now sitting in third place. Of course, Benoit and Dakotas out front, but look at this battle in the air simultaneously. Berger has got all kinds of company. He's always seems to be in the mix in these motos.
The drift action cam back on board, 762 is Savage looking on the inside. This is why I like motocross racing, Brian. You come to see this type of imagery, these types of battles, especially here on this track. This is a spectacular place to watch.
Oh, and Berger skies it on that big hipper. Can he do the cutover? That's the whole idea of it. Yeah, he cuts in. He's got a wheel up on the inside of Blake. He's got that inside line. He can take him wide, and he does. Holy smokes, Berger makes a nice pass, but look at Savage. Oh my gosh, Savage jumps right out of the inside. This is motocross racing. You would never see in practice or training Savage do that move. These guys step it up big for the racing. They kind of get out of the comfort zone, hence guys wiping out. And Moffenbayer, you know, you push so hard in the race environment. Your adrenaline is unmatched.
Well, you talked about the lines coming out of that off-camber. Savage used the outside one, and it was the slipperiest goose of the bunch. And now the boys coming out of the camelback. Berger on the inside takes care of Noddet. Wow, some dynamite racing here as they head down into the Shaw Valley.
Noddet moving a little backwards. He's used to running up, battling, and not beating these guys, so it's easy to judge from here. Who knows? Noddet might have a bike issue. A lot of times the back brake can overheat, so who knows what's going on with Noddet, but he's definitely fallen off the pace a little bit.
The sweet sounds of the two-stroke, our leader, the number 1 Fox Racing KTM and Kevin Benoit, checking back real-time second place. The number 105 FXR Yamaha Jimmy Dakotas keeping it real, Fab, just keeping it real.
The greatest looking tweet, but it's the number 1 that is checking out Rarick up in this Moto 7th, so now he's starting to pressure Narito on the 620 GA checkpoint Yamaha, and now Rarick is on that Redemption Racing two-stroke KTM. Not nearly as many two-strokes in the MX2 class this year with the rule change. Not allowed to do any grinding in the cylinder. No work on the intake, so these are stock jugs on these 250s.
And Rarick is such a big guy, Brian. That's why I think he likes the two-stroke, because he can carry a lot of speed on it. Although he hasn't had the results so far this season that he wants, I know he's frustrated.
Rarick up from Clarksville, New York. He trains down in California. He rides a lot with Cooper Webb, who is a Supercross champion. So Rarick has got his roots deep in the sport, and he's having fun in Canada's third year, dabbling up here, second full year with the Redemption team. And look at the legwork. These corners, they're fun.
One of my favorite riders on one of my favorite teams. They're a great group of people. Great to have in the series. To the number one, our leader, Calvin Benoit. Oh, a little nose wheelie down into the International. You get a little of this, you get a little of that in the International, don't you?
That's a new technique. You actually come off the jump, keeping that nose low, and it sets you right up for the landing. Look, Dakotas doesn't even downside that thing nearly as well as Benoit. Looks to me like Dakota's settling for second.
The number 9 of Morgan Berger in 5th place, getting his last lap flag. That puts the number 1 of Calvin Benoit on his final approach, Brian. Just a couple more corners, and he'll take the overall with this win, second in the first moto.
I love that Fox retro gear. That stuff's from like the late 80s, and the pink boots. What a package, and what a way to come in with that second moto win. You know that's going to give him the overall on the day, swapping moto wins with Dakota. So Benoit keeping that red plate after Calgary.
Let's face it, Fabs, after 3 rounds in the MX2 class, we're starting to see 2 pilots who are leading the charge, Benoit and Dakotas. And right now, Benoit with that JSR tutelage is looking pretty good on that 2-stroke. KTM looking good. And there's J-Rome back up to the podium. We'll see you in a second. Jimmy Dakotas gets the Royal Distributing Triple Crown at $800. Fabs, let's hit that Yamaha leaderboard and see who the top 10 was.
Well, in third, Medallia was very solid. Blake Savage off that first moto engine problem finishes 4th. Berger, a great day. Wright, Rarick, and Sewell, who were down together in the first one, end up in the top 10. Moffenbauer, Nielsen right there.
Taking the win in the second MX2 moto here from Wild Rose MX Park. That'll give him the overalls, the number 1 of Calvin Benoit. Calvin, you got into the lead early after Dakota's got that hole shot, and then you put in some flawless laps on this 2-stroke. You looked almost the best I've ever seen.
Oh man, I felt so great out there. I found some really good lines in the hot lap. And yeah, I got a good start on that moto and made a quick pass on Jimmy just under the bridge there on the second corner. And yeah, just sprinted the whole way. I was like, yeah, I was kind of angry a bit from Moto 1 from the bad start. I knew I had the speed to run up front, and yeah, with that good start, I just made it happen this time.
Consistency is the name of the game for the 21 of Jerry Medallia, Gopher Dunes Racing Honda, on the box again. 3rd place in that second MX2 moto. You look pretty good out there, Jeremy. I think on a day where when the leaders check out for me, it's hard to make up time on this track.
Yeah, it's frustrating a little bit. I didn't get the best to start that one. Had to claw my way up to 3rd, and then those guys had already put a good gap on me. So I enjoy the track here. I always had fun here, but I mean, overall, it's not where I normally get my best results. So to come away with another podium and keep the points consistent, I mean, that's all we're looking for.
To the series points after 3 of 10, Benoit has a nice lead. Dakotas and Medallia are dueling. How about Noddet, Berger, Moffenbauer, and Wright? Only a few points separate those boys. Savage, Rarick, Petruska right there. Nice shot of our top 3 overall on the day. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like us on Facebook and go to mxnationals.ca for all the straight goods.
Great job, Fabs. You have been watching the 2015 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. Presented by Motovan.com, Canada's source for power sports parts and accessories. Get the goggles on. Here comes the champagne. We'll see you in Regina next week.